All right. Today's going to be a short one. I did do some stuff off stream that I'll explain, but I might only work on like an endpoint or something. So let me pull up the README. I think the last time I ended, I was still working on these or something like that. These the get, put, and delete for application by ID. I have since finished those. Okay, I say finished. I haven't tested them, but I wrote the code for them, and I'll tweak when we get there. Then we have the post. So that's the one that I just did last night. Let's see, users post. So what this one does, um, it creates a user based on their based on the application ID, returns the user ID, and then because I've already discussed having these different like sign-in methods. Oh, and there was actually one thing I forgot now that I'm thinking of it. But I've already discussed these different sign-in methods. So starting off, it's just going to be by email and password. That's all I'm supporting with this service. But that could extend itself in the future. So instead of just throwing the email and password into one function and creating that sign-in method from the start, what I did was hash the email password, and then I created this outgoing port called create email sign-in verification. So what this will do is create the unverified entry with the email hash and password hash. Also change those from hashed email to email hash or something like that. So, and then that will send back the token, which will then be sent to another endpoint or outgoing port to handle sending the email. So that's all that is. The thought of going with something like this is that later on in the future I can do something like if email and password, then do this, and if Google ID, do this, if phone number, do this. So it's just a way to sign up a user with whatever method they want to in the future. Just kind of structure that code already so that it's a little more flexible. The one thing I did forget actually is in this guy. Actually, it won't be in this guy. Yeah, it won't be in this. It won't be in this. What I was thinking was this sign-in method. I never added it to the user's entry. Yeah, the user's item. So I'll have to do that. Um, but that'll be in this next one. So that is in users verification, and I think I get this far, so I have application ID and I have token, and then in my port, okay, so I need, where's my signature? So there's that, and then over here, we're also going to have application ID and token. And what this is going to do is verify the user. So it will grab this unverified thing, tab new, and then source shared database. I think I had something for like verification. Oh yeah, there's the create and there's the read. So the read, you pass an application ID and a token, and you get back the item. So let me make sure that I have a port for that. So I have create, and then I also need something similar to this that is for read. Read email. I'll do it after user. We'll do it there. Okay. So this is to read the email sign verification. This is with an application ID and a token. And honestly, I can just yoink all that. Paste it there. There's my email verified data, or maybe I'll call it verification data. And the verification data will have in the email hash, the password hash, the user ID, and a TTL. So I need to check the TTL. I need to make sure there's an email hash. So if there's not an email hash, I need to throw some sort of error. Invalid token maybe. And that would be a, I don't know, maybe a bad request. Let's see, do I have any errors for something similar to that? API key, existing user input. Missing resource maybe? What does missing resource correspond to? Missing resource is a not found, which is not found. It is 404. I think that sounds good. Oh, I don't have any of these errors in here. I actually want that here. I don't remember what it's called. Oops, I need that. Acquire /com/errors. And I already forgot what it was called. That. And then there's also the what is it called? Existing? Oops. Okay. The missing resource error. So we're going to throw that if the email hash does not exist. Catch it. No, that doesn't apply here. And then I also need to make sure that the TTL is valid. So how do I do the TTL here? Okay. That, and then I don't need that up anymore, at least not right now. Const timestamp is equal to that, and then we need to take the TTL out. So if current timestamp is greater than TTL. If this happens, then I need to throw I'll just throw the same error with invalid token, because it might as well just not exist. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, does that logic check out? If you have a current timestamp, if it's greater than the yeah, that's fine. So there's checking over the verification of the verification entry, checking the TTL, and then, okay, checks the user with email corresponding to the token, checks the current time is earlier than TTL, delete unverified item. Okay. So what I didn't add it in here, but what I need to do is create this email entry. And then I will delete that record. Okay. I should have a create email sign in. This one. So what I will do is await users create email sign in application ID, and then okay, let me just pull this information out of here. Got email hash. We've got, what else was in there? User ID. Did I call it user ID? I did call it user ID. I hate it when it does that. I don't know why sometimes Vim has a problem with me doing capital O. It takes a second for it to realize what it was supposed to do. And this is equal to that. And then I can just delete that. And I will take the TTL out of this. Now TTL is there. And then when I create the email sign in, I need user ID, email hash, and password hash. And then I need to delete this. So I'm going to I'm going to have a generic remove, and then I'll have like layers on top of it. So generic remove with primary key. No, I'll just call ID and secondary ID and secondary ID. That's all that does. And then on top of that, I can do, so for this one, for example, I can call generic remove application ID, and I don't want to type this again. Okay, there's my user remove. Capitalize that. Then I'm going to have something similar for email sign in verification. And I don't remember what. It's this, and then yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So this needs a token. So when I call this in here, I need the application ID and then the token. And I also need to add that there. Remove will still be the same. Remove email sign-in verification. Should these be awaited or should they be in parallel? I'll just ask that question later. Oh, why did I read it and then what was I going to do here? Oh boy. I guess read it and then maybe this should just be the whole flow for verify email. Yeah. So in here, what I would want to do is like read the verification, verify it, remove the verification, and then create the sign in. Or create the sign in. So I would want to do all this. I just need to... Okay. Pretty much this, but instead of users, do something like that, and then read. There's the read, and then there's a, I'll also need a create email sign in. That, I don't think that exists. There's create. Yeah, I think that's what I meant. Yeah, it's definitely what I meant. That's all that one does. So there's a create email sign in. Okay. Then we have, so that can come out. It's the create email sign in. And then I need one for this. So, except that one is removing. Oops. Okay. Where was the 61? And then 60. Return ID? No, this needs to return data. And I don't think it needs any of this, because that's over here now. So read email sign in verification. And then we pull this out, we check everything is good, and then what we will do is call, this should be remove. Okay, we're going to remove I think this is the syntax for it. We can remove whatever this is called, and then we're going to create email sign in. Okay. But these need parameters, so remove email sign in is all of that. Okay. And then create. well, it's the same thing. Why did the move doesn't need all that? Yeah, it just needs the token. So I need all of this. And let's token. Okay. And then that will be done. And that's the verification. And what was I supposed to return for the verification? No content. So let's make sure that that is, yeah, good, no status output. Okay. And that's all I'm going to do for today. So I got another one done. I got the user verification one done. At least I think I got it done. I'm not going to do OTP now, so I will do sign in next. Yeah. Also, another thing that I didn't show off, but that I did was in here the hashing for passwords and stuff. They're just generic in case I ever want to like swap out the package or anything like that. We just have a hash and compare. So the hash, you give it text, it gives you a hash. That's what's stored. It's bcrypt, so it's secure. And I won't be storing emails or passwords, so that's why in here, that's why I called everything hash. You'll be able to see it in here. I hash the email, I hash the password, so I only ever have it in code, but it's never actually stored. So I'm not holding on to any data that is PII. I'm not holding on to emails, I'm not holding on to passwords. Whenever I have the OTPs, I'm not going to hold on to phone numbers. I guess I'll probably hold on to Google IDs because those are meant to be public, or else they wouldn't send them to you. But yeah, that's just a little more security. Oh, yeah, I did forget this sign-in stuff, right? So whenever maybe import, maybe create, let's see, 29. We'll also need to add sign-in method, application ID, user ID, and then the method is going to be email. I don't know why I used double quotes for that. And then we're going to wait promise.all on this as well. Okay, and then this needs an add sign method users. Yeah, here's the sign in types, so it's there. Oh, I'll just I'll use that. Users sign in types 32. Okay, and then I'll do maybe right here. I'll have add sign in method application ID, user ID, and method. And here I'll just do a to-do add method to methods used. I'll have to do that later because I don't want to do it right now. So that'll probably be the next thing I do whenever I work on this. Yeah, that was quite a deviation from what I was talking about. But the hashing's all there, so now I'm just kind of slowly working through all of the endpoints. And that's pretty much it. So I'll have verification. Once I get the token done, oh, I'm looking down here. Once I get the token done, then I'll actually be able to get a JWT. So that'll be interesting. And at that point, I might start testing, or maybe I'll finish the password reset and stuff. Also, another thing that I haven't done is the emails. So I currently don't send out like a verification email. Yeah, I will probably integrate with SQS, but I think there's some overhead with SQS as far as like getting verified so that you can send out emails. But yeah, we'll see. That'll be for another day. So, but for now, thanks for watching. And if this helped, or if you're curious about using something like this, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help someone set it up and get started with it. So, yeah, let me know. Thanks. Bye.